WorldTel presents the Wills World Cup.
So here we have the South African side, and the interesting feature here, the last two names, Pat Simcox and Paul Adams, two spinners in the side today. Alan Donald is not amongst that lineup, but otherwise the top order looks pretty well the same, except that Jacques Carter.
One slip in a gully, otherwise a fairly orthodox field, and that'll be four, beautifully stroked away, no doubt whatsoever.
Well, that's why the West Indies have decided to open with Courtney Brown. He plays the fast bowlers a lot better than he does his spinners. That was a good shot. Well timed and well placed. West Indies have a brand new opening pair here again in this.
For Pollock as well. In the air and dropped. Rhodes the man who's put it down. Dear oh dear.
Well, as I said before, we're not accustomed to seeing the South Africans slipping up in the field like this. We saw a couple of fumbles and now a dropped catch. He had to make a lot of ground, mind you. Did make a lot of ground to get to it. But those are the catches that Jonty Rhodes usually takes. But it was a brilliant effort. The ball was a long way away from him.
Almost as if he's gone just a little bit too far here. When he launches himself, it's the heel of his hand. Up in the air, Adams after it, it'll fall safely. Off the over. Still a ball to go. Great shot that.
A very good shot indeed. Sean Pollock attempting to deceive Courtney Brown with a slow delivery, but pitched much too short. He just went back, waiting on it, and cracked it past point. Picked up that slow ball.
This is Craig Matthews. Driven back down the ground, that'll go all the way. If it isn't Brown, it's Chanderpaul.
That was a good shot. Well, we are seeing again these pitches here that this World Cup has been played on. Very flat. Not a lot of movement off the seam, but it was not a half volley by any way. Chanderpaul just playing through the line and timing it beautifully.
On the edge of the circle and come a little bit straighter. Oh, it's no good being straight when you bowl that wide.
This was a beauty from Chanderpaul. Now that was a half volley and punished accordingly.
Just against Kenya. They need their head red. Hit hard, well fielded.
Well, we're seeing a few field changes going on out here every time Courtney Brown is on strike. That was Brian McMillan, the man there at short mid-wicket. Well, there are three men inside the circle on the onside, and there's another out deep on the square leg boundary, almost in front of square. That means no fine leg, and that's because Courtney Brown has been looking to hit over the top quite often and looking to hit in front of the wicket.
In the air and out. Well, it would be unfair to say that seemed a little inevitable. Courtney Brown died by the sword, as it were. Didn't get it high enough or far enough over mid-on, and the fact that the mid-wicket got in there let mid-on just be a little bit deeper.
Yes, Courtney Brown not quite timing that one. It wasn't a half ball. He played through the line of the ball, didn't hit it as well as he would have liked, and Cullinan is the man taking the catch. West Indies lose their first wicket on 42.
Who this man is? Let me introduce you to him. Magnificent shot. The ball not seaming around, so young Chanderpaul can take some liberties. That's the 50 up for the West Indies at the beginning of the 9th over.
Well, it's a terrific shot, this. He just flips it. It's one of his favourite areas. You give him width on the offside, he'll smack you. And then he likes to whip it.
It's wide of Matthews at third man. It's going to go all the way to the fence. 4-4 for Shivnarine Chanderpaul.
Yes, he's an awkward little player to bowl at, is Chanderpaul. He looks a little bit like an ugly duckling compared to the classical batsman. I think he's a very fine player.
And we're just coming to the end of this 15-over mark. Classic shot, classic shot. The first flowering of Lara.
He's taken his time to get settled. Now perhaps he's confident. He's seeing it well. Look at that. The full flow of the willow, and 4 runs accrue.
Oh,
he missed Chanderpaul, and Chanderpaul's on 27.
Well, that's a terrific shot. It's scarcely looked short to me, I must say. We're a long way from the centre, but to a Brian Lara eye, that was short enough.
Yes, absolutely. Showing that he's seeing the ball well now. Great shot. Picked it well. It wasn't the off-cutter, it was a seamer coming back into him. Of course, left-handers love to pull. Play and miss. That's a good...
And playing square cuts like that.
Jonty Rhodes, the misfielder again. The infield is not all that even. Jonty Rhodes thought he had that covered. The ball just nicking the thumb as it raced past.
One more for Lara.
Craig Matthews, the fielder.
Oh, very fine. Top edge. Well bowled, Simcox. And the 100 comes up for West Indies. 103 now, but a slice. And a slice of luck.
He really didn't choose this one nicely. This was the top spinner. Going over the top from Simcox.
Western.
We may.
Oh, that's a different class of shot. His 5th boundary, and that was all to do with Lara waiting.
As he played this against the spin, it spun quite sharply as well, but this time he really got on top of it. Waited beautifully, and the fast outfield did the rest.
Lara has nipped up. Well, that's absolutely brilliant.
There certainly is a big difference between Chanderpaul and Brian Lara facing up to Paul Adams. This was a very good shot. The ball coming back into Brian Lara, pretty much in line with the stumps, but he still had enough confidence to give himself some room and punch it through the offside. That certainly was on the stumps.
This won't get to the fence. Lara very happy to...
Kanda.
That'll be 4 more. And 50 for Brian Lara. Another Brian Lara 50 just creeps up on you. He's hardly broken sweat yet. 45 balls only. A master craftsman.
You'd never believe that Brian Lara would have gotten to 50 that quickly. Try and put a bit of added pressure on Chanderpaul.
There's the 50. A very, very valuable knock from young Shivnarine Chanderpaul. Well appreciated by his teammates.
West Indies have got their act together today. They played very well indeed against Australia, and they've carried that good form from Jaipur to Karachi. That'll beat Adams. Wild and woolly delivery from Pollock. Lara just dismisses the ball from his presence. 8-4s now, Lara.
Attempted slow delivery, I would think, that from Sean Pollock, and that sometimes does happen, for the slow delivery is meant to be coming out of the arm a bit slow, obviously, because
the pressure's beginning to tell on South Africa. Chinks in the armour of their tremendous discipline. Another looping full toss, this time from Simcox. One-handed from Lara, virtually. That'll race away as well, that's 4 more. 150's up for the West Indies, we're only in the 28th over.
Well, it certainly is a brilliant start. There are 2 men inside the circle behind square, and Lara found the gap. Beautifully placed. And a deliberate stroke. Caribbean, well, at last they are getting something to cheer about. Bob, they were very happy after the match against Kenya. Match against Australia must have lifted their hopes a bit, but certainly they'll be quite happy with what's going on here.
That's 4 more. Three boundaries in 3 balls. Lara taking complete control.
In the air again, but I'm sure Brian Lara knows exactly what he's doing. Man, that was square, was put a bit finer, and that ball went pretty much where the man had been placed before.
And again.
The hallmark of a genius. There's no doubt about it. One word describes the man. Another boundary.
Some respite for Simcox in South Africa, but for how long? 12-4s, Brian Lara. Well, there's 20 come from that Pat Simcox over. The West Indies have raced on 165 for 1.
Start, nervous start, understandably. My goodness, once he'd struck a couple of 4s, he's fairly raced away from Chanderpaul, his partner. And that'll be 4 more. South Africa looking down the barrel of a very big gun.
Outside edge there from Brian Lara, flying fine on the wide of Craig Matthews at third man. Brian McMillan too short and too wide, and this has been the trend of the South African bowlers. They haven't been able to tuck Brian Lara up, in particular the spinners. Pat Simcox.
And he'll cut anything, and is very, very unforgiving, these pitches. He didn't get the little man driving him enough.
Well, it didn't really matter either up or back, but he certainly bowled a good foot too wide. He should have been in there at middle and leg, trying to make Brian Lara play straight. Never, ever seemed to do that. His best delivery on 2 occasions bowled a top spinner, and Brian Lara tried to cut him and missed.
Yeah, rather bold to give Brian Lara 1 and bowl at the other fella. Might be able to bowl 3 dot balls at him.
It's in the air, and he's out. That's a brilliant catch there. Daryl Cullinan out on the square leg boundary, and South Africa have the breakthrough. Brian Lara hugs his partner. He knows how valuable he's been to the Brian Lara effort, and in fact to the West Indian effort. So West Indies now 182.
Shivnarayan Chandapal hitting across this one. It's a high-risk shot, but fair enough, he's been out there a long time. Cullinan has to run in and catches it low to the ground. That's a good catch from Daryl Cullinan, and a vital, vital breakthrough for South Africa. Praise from his partner. He's done a wonderful job. Tap on the back. Chandapal, 56 in 93 balls. West Indies 180 for 2. Richie Richardson.
Nancy Premier 17 of his 3. And Simcox the worst. So if you add those 2 together, only 1 necessary from the spinners, but Cronje will be hesitant to bowl himself for the remaining 7.
In the air, Rhodes leaps, but he's not tall enough, and that's smashed into the boundary boards, the advertising hoardings.
Well, once again, it's the fly into the spider's web. Short and wide. Lara likes nothing better. Too close for comfort, I'm sure, for him, but he hit that rub.
Risking another wicket. Over the wicket to Lara. 5 on the leg side. He'll settle for that 1. Now he can bowl at the news. To date, this is quite a good ploy from Simcox. I think he probably left it maybe 2 overs too late in his first spell before adopting this method of over the wicket and at leg stump. Lara can only get 1. Oh, he's taken 2. And he's got there.
And he's made it. And that's a most magnificent 100. Brian Lara showing the world just what a fine player he really is. Extremely happy. Tension off him now. His teammates delighted, as is his captain.
Brian Lara's second 100 against South Africa. His first 100 in World Cup cricket. Can you believe it?
Now, much more organised, frugal approach.
The trouble is, when he gets it right and goes over the wicket now and tries to bowl there, Lara's in such good nick like that, you can't stop the flow of runs, so they're doing it too late. You've got to do it early on when he was nervous and not sure of himself, under pressure. Now he's going to smack you all over the park. He's got 2 shots for every ball now. He's going.
You don't see too many of these, though, Jeff, do you?
Well, that's why he's a great player. I mean, he just moved away and smacked it. And that's what I'm saying. He's that talented a player. We saw the other day Amir Sahel had the Indian bowlers at his mercy, and he gave his wicket away. Just a rash slog, losing his temper with a bowler. And I think if I was Richie Richardson, I'd have a word with Brian Lara and say, yeah, keep playing, but no need to do anything daft, because him playing just normal for Lara will score quicker than anybody else.
Well, that's all great stuff. 208 for 2, West Indies.
And that's in the air.
1 bounce, a fumble, 2 runs.
Yes, they've missed a run or 2 today of the South Africans. They're usually brilliant in the field. But you see here, he just took his time. He didn't seem to be judging it very well. He overran the ball a little bit. One-handed it, missed it.
That's in the air. Brilliant catch. Now that's the best of South Africa. Gary Kirsten out there, brilliant catch. Richie Richardson goes. Richardson looking for his fluency, looking for his aggression. And Simcox gets a reward.
Well, they'll be glad of this wicket. It was an excellent catch, but I think they'd prefer it to have been Lara. Might have made a bigger difference. But a wicket's a wicket. Gets a new man in again and hopefully will struggle. So that's the positive thought that South Africa have to have. As West Indies are still 210 for 3.
Ian Adams or an Arthurton.
And that's the top edge. Man under it. Got him. Lara goes. In the 40th over. South Africa's perseverance, and Simcox over the wickets, and Lara looking for runs. All adds up to the fall of a famous wicket. 214 for 4.
Well,
South Africa fighting the way back into this match. And the West 10 overs. .64 runs, 2 wickets.
well, he was always going to go after the bowling, was Brian Lara. But South Africa will be relieved. Just gets new batsmen into the crease, gives them an opportunity to try and slow down the scoring rate and keep it within manageable proportions. But what a brilliant innings.
This is Macmillan. Another shout, and he's out. He's given him. Randall's given him. Macmillan's perseverance pays off. So South Africa now are really back in this contest. 5 wickets down for 227.
Well, the umpire had no doubt here. He gave him out fairly quickly, not getting forward, just shuffling across the crease. I think we'll see here there's not much of a stride forward. The umpire was very quick on that. It came as a bit of a surprise to everybody, but I think that's probably out. 227 for 5.
In this last over of the 10.
That's up in the air. It's gone a long way up in the air. And he's gone. Well, if I've ever seen a brainless cricket shot, Michael, that was it.
There was absolutely no need for that at all. The West Indies have been going along very well. 230 runs off 43 overs. 42 balls left to be bowled. All they needed was anything close to a runner ball. But instead, we got this. Looking to hit a 6 and only succeeding in hitting it straight up into the air. A long way up, and of course anything that goes up has got to come down, and it finds Hudson. 230 for 6.
He's not on strike. Great fielding. He's in trouble here. He must have gone. There's no doubt about that. Great work by Paul Adams. Roland Holder's been run out. There's some spectacular collapse in progress here.
Well, we saw some absolutely brilliant cricket from the West Indies in the early overs. Now we are seeing some brainless cricket. This is another bit of it. The ball hadn't gone past Adams yet, and Roland Holder is taking off. Stranded, no chance of getting back. A long way out. No need even to call for the third umpire. Umpire Steve Randall giving him out. It's 230 for 7.
With Paul Adams for the last over of the West Indies innings. It's high in the air, it's down to long on, it's beaten Simcox, and it's over the rope for 6. The 250's up for the West Indies, and they've now got a good chance of getting beyond 260.
That was a good blow by Ian Bishop. Off the back foot from outside the off stump and pulling it over long on. Well, that not just takes timing, it takes a bit of strength as well.
That's bowled him out. Bishop trying to repeat the treatment. He's perished. Paul Adams managed to keep his cool. An important wicket in this last over.
Yes, right on line, Paul Adams. That's the theory in these one-day games in the latter stages. You have got to bowl straight. If the batsman misses, you hit. No free hits at this stage. West Indies 254 points.
It's number 10 for the West Indies. Full toss. Great effort, but it's a boundary. A hint of breathing space for the West Indies. They're past 260 now. Great improvisation from Jimmy Adams. They're going to get back for 3. A good last over for the West Indies, 16 runs coming from it. The West Indies completing their 50 overs, 264 for 8. Tall order for South Africa, 265 to win. They fought back well. Winning the toss this morning, he decided to bat. Courtney Brown opened with Shivnarine Chanderpaul. They put on 42 for the first wicket in good. They hemorrhaged runs at the start when Lara came to the wicket after Courtney Brown, but they fought back well, and by far the scrum round, but they fought back well, and by far the scrum.
Kirsten slips. He fell back on the stumps. It's the first wicket. Curtly Ambrose takes the plaudits. Clearly forcing Kirsten right back on the stumps. All eyes are up mid-wicket to see if his stumble would recover, whether the ball would be returned in time to run him out, and all the time he knew, he felt it.
I think South Africa will consider themselves a bit unfortunate here. Kirsten played it well, played it through the mid-wicket region, but that left leg, the back leg, just slipping and going back onto the stumps. He felt it and he knew it was over. South Africa lose their first wicket on 21.
Great talents.
Kirsten playing a reasonably good shot there, just flicking it through the mid-wicket region, and there goes the team who have seen too much of Cullinan. But perhaps he did a bit of talking to the other English cricketers around to find out what was what with this young man.
That's a good shot, and that's typical Daryl Cullinan. He knows it's 4, felt the timing, and we saw the follow-through. 26 for 1.
And very difficult to get after Ambrose.
He's got after that. How well he's hit it's debatable, but I think it's a real teaser. Yeah, 4 runs.
Well, that's a really good shot. He hardly ever bowls a bad ball, a really bad one. This wasn't so bad in length. He just played an excellent shot, got into position quite quickly, pulled it almost off half front foot. Hasn't time to get really back. He's just going forward and then swings the bat.
Require, but especially against these 2 bowlers. Out! No ball! No ball called. Hudson hasn't heard it because of the roar, the crowd. Dejection for the West Indies. Celebration for Andrew Hudson.
Well, that was lovely cricket, wasn't it? The batsman totally unaware, thought he was out, a disappointment, turned round, took the bat under his arm, gloves off. You see, he sees the ball, he fancies whipping it over mid-wicket. He doesn't hear anything from the umpire. There he is, he hears the death knell, he thinks, as he turns round. That's it. That's a goner for me. No, and then somebody said, you're not out.
That's 4. Swatted away on the offside, short and wide, and deserved it.
Well, he hit this really well, just waited for it with a bit of width and just smacked it with the bottom hand. Yeah, that went with quite a bit of... I don't think they can make a few changes. There you are, that's a beautiful strike. That's the sort of thing that no captain, no bowler can defend. A good length ball, and he's just smacked it over long on. You cannot set a field for this. Boom. That's a great strike, on the up.
24 out of his total of 31 in boundaries. Now the field spread a bit more. Static atmosphere and the need for runs. Oh, he's hit that, Miles. That's 8.
Well played, what a shot. Terrific strike. As I said, a couple of good overs can change the whole context of the match and give the impetus to the batting side. Short of a length, width, and he climbs into it. Great camera work, that. Nothing for short on these pitches, nothing for...
Further ahead, let me tell you, but then they got it wrong at the end. This will be runs, 4 of them, I think. Yeah.
Well, suddenly the score is rushing round, and that's what can happen in one-day cricket. You've got to keep a cool head when it's very noisy around you, the pressures get into you. This is a lovely orthodox cricket shot. So it ain't got too much longer to do it. 37 average, not bad, not special though. He's got to get into the 40s.
Drilled that. Oh, and half a hand on it, and it's still going to hit the rope pretty hard. That was great cricket. Whoa, wonderful cricket.
Well, it's a great attempt by Richie, but oh, what a catch that would have been to take this. This went with some power. He just stood there and delivered, bang. And if he'd have got his hand really into the hand,
That's over mid-off. That's going to go all the way to the fence.
Well, I'm sure the West Indian fast bowlers are not used to being wafted over mid-off and over cover as they have been today, particularly Ian Bishop. Look at that, on the up, timing, all there.
Richardson. Both the off and onside, but that'll get away for 4. It's a good start for South Africa off the part-timer.
And just what Jimmy Adams didn't want. He dropped it short. Darryl Cullinan very quick to adjust. He was going forward to begin with, then leaned back and smashed it past Brian Lara at backward point. No chance there, and a good boundary for South Africa.
Yes, the ball.
That's miles in the air, and it's 6 all the way. Terrific blow by Cullinan. And that's Darryl Cullinan's 15. What a brilliant way to get there. He just must have sensed that his team needed that. Swung it away with whatever spin there was.
That was a good blow.
Just single down to... That's in the air. Is out, is good. Courtney Walsh, the catcher. Well, that is just what West Indies wanted, but still fine progress by South Africa. 119 for 2. And this is Andrew Hudson.
Looking to clear along on Andrew Hudson. Not quite making it. Courtney Walsh, the man down at long on, taking the catch. Not a lot of ground to cover, just got behind it and took it quite comfortably. West Indies needed that wicket. South Africa are 119 for 2.
But clearly you have to keep playing. Terrific blow, that. 6 over extra cover. It didn't matter where the fielders were. It didn't matter which line he bowled. He was almost standing up mid-wicket when he struck it.
Yes, Cullinan gave himself quite a lot of room there. Ball was well wide of leg stump, but still managed to hit it over extra cover. A very good blow, just over the ropes.
There.
Well, that's a poor shot, you know, really turning it against the spin when he's seen what happened to the previous ball he played, the one that his captain played as well. You know, so we're getting inside out, hitting him straight, long off.
And if you can't get your Golden Greats bat on the phone numbers I gave you, this is a universal one. 00612 565 3777.
All right, Bishop!
That's down a long off. Bishop's there and he's taken the catch. Cullinan goes. The West Indies celebrate. That's a vital wicket for the West Indies. Cullinan's gone for 69. South Africa now are 140 for 3.
Well, good bowling by Jimmy Adams. He's bowled into that rough, teased and tantalised the batsman until Cullinan's had to go down the ground, which I advocated, but he got it a little bit under it. He got a little bit of height on it, which allowed Bishop, who was wide long off, to run around. Absolute joy and ecstasy for West Indies. Very good knock, but 140 for 3.
For the South Africans.
Slow their ability. Oh, a bowl. Tempted Yorker.
The jitters are setting in for the chasing side. West Indies are fielding brilliantly. Ambrose is bowling brilliantly. The pressure is on the batsman.
Isn't it nice to see eventually a West Indian side bowling, fielding, batting with such passion, such emotion? You can see the unity in the side. The opportunity is there. Jimmy Adams can't believe it, how he missed. Look at it, he could almost have run him out. How could I miss it? Oh! Got the camera work. Good shot, moved down the wicket, down the pitch, eased it through the covers. Bad ball from Jimmy Adams, full toss. Just when they've got South Africa under pressure, he gives them an easy ball. This will always happen with the occasional bowler. You can't expect him to be quite as accurate.
Jimmy Adams has never bowled more than 6 overs in a one-day international. This is his 8th over. Splendid figures, 2 for 39 so far.
Yes, he's creating a lot of problems, this bowling over the wicket, isn't he? Bowling into the rough. You mentioned, Bob, that this pitch has been played on 3 times now. There's a little bit of wear and tear there. They start off to the pitches in Pakistan very dry, almost cracked, almost over-prepared. So you're going to get a bit of turn, predictable turn, but it's still something there for the bowlers to work on. Nancy Cronje likes to get down the pitch to the spinners and hit them over the top, but he's finding it not so easy with Adams coming left arm over the wicket.
That's a good-looking shot. Ambrose can't cut it off. Jimmy Adams just doesn't have the control to bowl an over of good deliveries. There's always a chance.
Yeah, I think you've got to be a good sweeper, whatever else.
So far, but he's hit it for 6. Lifeblood back into the South African side. They need a few more of those, as Geoffrey Boycott was saying. They need 2 or 3 good overs to get back in this game.
Another short ball and another boundary, this time over the boundary. The West Indian bowlers certainly haven't learned that they're not to bowl short on this pitch. That brought a smile to Cronje's face. Why not? That's bad bowling, but a very good shot.
Good camera work too. He's done it again. That's in the hole, and 6 more. Now then. Another smile. Jubilation for some of the fans. Big smile.
Another very good shot. Courtney Walsh on this occasion attempting the slow delivery, but still not the right length. And a big heave over wide long on.
That's twice in this over. Jimmy Adams has aborted. Nearly 7 and over. Hit that very hard in the air and he's out. That's the big wicket that West Indies wanted. They won't feel home and dry yet, but they'll feel very, very nearly there. Marvellous catch. It's never easy to come into the ball and catch it low down.
Yes, that was a very difficult catch. The ball was hit very hard indeed. Didn't go a long way up. Was pretty flat. Very difficult to judge whether the ball would have carried or would have fallen short. But a good catch taken by Keith Atherton. West Indies certainly needed that one, and he knows how vital a catch that was. 186 for 4, South Africa.
The man that South Africa. Rhodes has got this away square in the gap. Brilliantly stopped by Atherton. Now, have another look at that. Blimey, looked like Brian Giggs.
That was good feeling by Atherton, but he was very close to those ropes. Let's see if any part of his body was over the ropes when he touched it the second time. Certainly not the first time. Well, that was close. His right leg was off, but not really on the ground. I think they have to take a very good look at this again. He's off the field there. Left leg kicks the ball. His right leg is in the air, so it's safe.
John T. Rhodes will try and do, and that's sweep him. It doesn't take a genius to tell you that. I wonder how many balls it'll take. 2 on the on, 3 on the boundary, on the leg. He's headed up in the air. This will be out as well. Yeah. Didn't really get it anywhere near the middle of the bat. And the West Indies are now definitely in the shallow end on the way to dry land.
Another good wicket for the West Indies. Roger Harper brought back into the attack. The slow bowlers have been doing the job. John T. Rhodes going for the big hike over the mid-wicket boundary. Didn't quite get hold of it, didn't hit it far enough. And Jimmy Adams taking a very good catch. And isn't he happy? He has had a good game, Jimmy Adams. It's 196 for 5.
22 years of age. He won't be facing just yet because the batsman crossed. Averaging 32, didn't bat the first 2 matches, just 12 against England, and the innings I was referring to just now against Pakistan. It's a big appeal, and out, LBW! McMillan plays right back, onto...
Well, there is no doubt at all about that. He would have hit halfway up mid-stump. 196 for 6. Is a new batsman, and he's here because Roger Harper has been doing a very good job for his team. The opening batsmen and the slow bowlers are having a good World Cup. This is Roger Harper's time. Caught at the deep mid-wicket boundary by Jimmy Adams. And if that wasn't good enough, well, the very next ball, Brian McMillan playing back right in front of mid-stump and missing. That's 2 in 2. Here comes the third ball.
Hat-trick avoided. Well, there's so much talk about the fat lady, and game's not over till she stops singing. I reckon she's running out of breath at the moment. Brilliant bowling figures. Did wonderful work when he bowled earlier.
Lot of work for Paul Palperman. Now, Sean Pollock, his partner. 6 wickets down. They can't afford to take too many chances. I think they could well use that 28 he made against England.
Out! Brilliantly caught, diving to his left. 3 wickets in and over. Roger Harper. has taken this game by the scruff of the neck and driven the West Indies into the semi-finals.
That was excellent cricket from Roger Harper. We were seeing a game previously that Roger Harper had lost a lot of the sparkle in the field. He had dropped a few catches, but look at this. He has come right when he was really needed. That is a good catch. Made sure he put his hand on the ground and not the ball. You don't need anything better than that. It's 1-0.
Terrific effort. A big six. Now that's the style of South Africa.
Yeah, this is why I'd have been keen to get Ambrose back into the attack. He's not as easy to hit. They've got to go now while they've got Harper one more over. I think if you get Ambrose into the attack and then the spinner bowls right at the end, the 50th over, it may be too late for South Africa. But here, they've got a chance to go after the spinner. There's 6 balls to get stuck into him. I really think Ambrose is the man now.
Well, it does mean that South Africa are getting closer to their objective. Another big hit, miles into the stands. Cracking six. Pat Simcox. Can this game be rewritten at this late stage? Hitting with a spin, perfectly good strokes, ball kept well up.
Yeah, and you've always got a chance to hit. If a spinner's on, you can set yourself, whack it away. I think he'll rue keeping Harper on. He's done the damage with Adams in particular. I think this was a moment to change the bowling.
And that's a big hit. It'll be caught though. It will be. Roger Harper just playing with the air, a little slower. Jimmy Adams is the man at deep mid-wicket. And we've seen super catches out there today. 3 of them. 2 by Adams, 1 by Arthurton. Sean Pollock's a little bit annoyed, but what else can he do?
Well, which schoolmaster told us all catches win matches? That's what it's all about. The pressure's on, the ball is up there. Quite simple, really, in a way, but under the pressure of do you go through to the semi-final or not, then they are very, very important catches. 220.
Well, they'll be up in South Africa too. They'll be up all over the world, no doubt. And why not? This is a terrific cricket match. There's no way that Pat Simcox has given this up. All he said to Craig Matthews is just work a 1, and I'll see if I can land the ball over the boundary again for you.
Yeah, he's not quite as easy to hit though, Keith Arthur. He bowls little skiddy balls. He doesn't toss it up like Harper. He bowls little seamers. He's not trying to do much. Sometimes he's very small, so he's close to the ground. Little seamers, not much height on them. Going to take a good strike. Should be out, should be out. Should be out, he's gone, he's gone.
Another brilliant catch. Another at mid-wicket. And brave Simcox goes. That was his plan, the only plan, really, at this stage. It wasn't a bad bang, but as Jeff Boycott says, Arthurton a bit lower in flight. Never really came off the meat of the bat. 9th wicket goes down, 228.
Yeah, it's a brave effort, but he's not as easy to hit, Keith Arthurton. I've seen him bowl before, and I have the impression that's just a little bit bigger boundary on that side. Did the best
on the rough road there.
Watch Kirtley here. Claps, Courtney Walsh. Yeah, that's been so important today for West Indies, how they've helped each other.
Bowls in, it's all over. Brave little try by Paul Adams. Courtney Walsh grabs the stump because they realise that this has been such an important breakthrough in their own morale, their own performance, and for Richie Richardson, how sweet.
Well, the pride has been hurt. They knew if they went back home after that performance against Kenya, they will get crucified by the West Indian public. They've had to pull the socks up, and they've done it. They've had to tell each other some home truths, and it's worked. I'm pleased for Richie Richardson as much as all the team, because whatever problems he's had as a captain and with his team, he's basically a decent guy and a nice man.